Good evening, everybody. I hope that you are doing well. I'm going to do a video about narcissistic abuse, narcissistic mothers, narcissistic uh, information, um, just pretty much what I can think of about narcissists and narcissism. So, if this is something that pertains to you, please feel free to stick around, and I hope that I can help you. And if it doesn't pertain to you, feel free to stick around if you would like to learn something new, possibly, or if you don't feel like sticking around, have a great day, and I wish you the best. So, okay. Um, as you may or may not know, I have been putting up daily quotes for about 2, maybe 3 weeks now. At first, they were just general quotes that spoke to me, and as of the last week or so, they've been more like narcissistic or narcissism type quotes. Um, and that is because those are what are really speaking to me right now. Um, I am, for some reason, really going through. Um, I don't know if it's a grief stage so much as it's just more of a trying to figure out what made my mother tick kind of stage. Because she was very much narcissistic. Um, she was horribly abusive and just completely selfish and self centered, and she's just a horrible woman. And I just, I keep struggling with why she was the way she was, why she treated me the way that she treated me, why she was completely different with my brother. How she could flip a switch from being the most evil woman I've ever known to in public being the sweetest, most loving mother that there could possibly be. Um, and as I've gotten older, I've done a lot of research on narcissism, especially narcissistic mothers, and I've uncovered so many things that have answered so many questions. And with those questions, or with those answers, unfortunately, also have come a lot of heartbreak and even more questions that I can't yet find the answers to, but hope to eventually. Number one, the thing that I have the hardest time wrapping my brain around is the fact that my mother, the woman that gave me life, probably never actually loved me. Because narcissistic mothers, generally, as a whole, do not have the ability to genuinely love their daughters. They may act like it, they may love bomb you, where they bestow a bunch of attention and love and gifts upon you, and then before you know it, they're back to abusing you and making you feel like the lowest piece of scum on the earth, and you're just like, what did I do? Like, what the heck? Why? She went from hating me to loving me to back to hating me, and why? What did I? And honestly, that's just normal for the narcissist. They will love bomb you when they feel like they are losing control of you, um, or if they feel that you're starting to catch on to what they're doing, or that you may be getting ready to tell somebody or leave them or whatever. they tend to all of a sudden turn on the love bomb and make you doubt completely if maybe you've just been overreacting, maybe you've just been over emotional, maybe you've just been seeing things that weren't there and they've loved you the whole time, and you're the one that's messed up because they're this sweet, loving, wonderful person who's giving you all this love and attention, and it's not you. It's not. It's all them. It's the game that they play to keep you entrapped in their snare, to keep you from chewing your leg off if you have to get it to escape. It's their way of keeping you under their thumb and under their abusive, toxic relationship. And that's not just for mothers. I mean, it's for any narcissist out there. Every narcissist will love bomb you at some point. They will, and it can last for a few hours to several weeks. Long enough to make you go, I'm just the crazy one. I'm the one that's overreacting. Clearly, I'm just having some sort of mood swing, or maybe I'm getting close to my cycles and my hormones and my moods are all messed up, or maybe I've just been in a bad mood and I've been misreading their love for me, and so honestly, they've loved me this whole time, and I've just been seeing it something different. And so, they really truly do love me, and then all of a sudden, they switch back to themselves, and then you're just like, okay, what did I do? Why all of a sudden did the love go away? Now why am I being abused, and why are they treating me this way and saying these things and doing these things? And like, did I do something wrong, and how can I fix this? Because, it was just so good a little bit ago, so clearly, I did something wrong. I must have upset them somehow because they were so good to me. Why are they all of a sudden being so bad to me? And again, it's not you. It's not anything you've done. It's them. It's them playing their games to keep you from leaving, to keep you constantly wondering if you're the reason, if you're the problem, if you're the reason that they can't keep loving you. And they may even say, you are so difficult, or you are so this or that, and you make me act this way, or you make me lash out and be this way, or it's because of you that I can't love you anymore, or I'm just so angry with you, or, I don't know the gamut to which they're going to say and how they're going to do. I just know that based on my life with my mom, it was constantly a roller coaster of chaos, and just, I didn't know from one moment to the next if she was going to show me love or if she was going to beat the crap out of me. Like, I literally had no idea. Like, I learned over time to read her body language, and I could read the cues that she was giving me that she didn't realize she was giving me. But, you really have to tune in. Like, you really have to focus and get to know your narcissist and their moods and how they act and what leads up to their love bombing and what the little actions they start doing before the love bombing or before the love bombing ends, and then comes back the abuse. And it's exhausting. It truly is absolutely exhausting to continually have to read the narcissist in your life, to know from one moment to the next, okay, is today going to be a day of love, or is today going to be a day of a violence of some sort? And it's hard and it's draining and it's painful, and unfortunately it shapes the way you're going to see people for pretty much the rest of your life. You're always going to wonder if everybody that you meet has an ulterior motive. Are they just showing you their happy face at that moment, and then after you get to know them or you get in a relationship with them, are they then going to Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde on you? Are they going to become, this abusive, horrible person, and away goes the kind, compassionate, genuine Prince Charming slash loving mother, whatever they are to you. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just, you just you can't ever really know somebody until you've gotten in to know them, and then sometimes, or most of the time, it's too late then. So you got to try to learn to read early on if you can. Learn how to read the person that you're with before you jump head first into the relationship with them. Now, in the event that they're your mother or your father or your brother or your sister or your aunt or your uncle, your grandparents, a family member, you're involved from the moment basically you're conceived. So it's kind of like, it's not like a new boyfriend or a girlfriend where you have time to kind of, read cues or read in between the lines, or, kind of get to know them without, you know, without jumping in and being totally blind struck. Whereas with your family, you hope that they have all of the right intentions for you, and that they love you, and that they mean the best for you, and that they want you to be safe and loved, and that they're never going to hurt you. But so much of the time, your family can actually hurt you worse than a narcissistic person you meet on a dating site or online or in real life. Or, I mean, they just, yes, those people can still hurt you very badly, but I feel like nothing hurts worse than your own family members betraying you, because they're supposed to be the ones that love you no matter what, like blood is thicker than water, and all that stuff, the cliche stuff. But in my situation, my narcissist, my mother, didn't honor the blood is thicker than water pact of the family. She was willing to do whatever it took to get whatever she wanted, and she didn't care how she got it. And if you watch one of my other narcissistic videos, I think it's the last one I posted in my narcissistic file, I talk about how my mother sold me to a man named, I'm calling him Jay. She sold me to him for sexual pleasure, so that the money she received from my sexual services to him, which I had no clue about, she wanted to buy clothes and makeup and jewelry and alcohol, because she was an alcoholic, and so she was willing to sell me for my body to be used for things that I didn't consent to at 10 years old. And she didn't care, because she got what she wanted, and that's all that mattered to her. And I wasn't a human being. I was property. I was something to be bought, something to be sold, something to be used, something to gain her what she wanted. And narcissists will stop at nothing to get what they want. They don't care who they step on and who they hurt, and they don't care about any of that stuff. They want to please themselves, and they believe that they deserve the grand treatments and the things that they're getting from using people, including their own children, who are not children to them. They're just a pawn in their game to get what they want. Narcissistic mothers, narcissistic parents don't see their children as people to be loved and protected and treasured and cared for. They see them as game pieces and a way to get what they want from people. And they will use whoever in whatever way that serves them the purpose of what they want. Another thing narcissists are good for is turning people against you. And my narcissist turned my entire family against me by saying, when I was, when I was between 5 and 6 years old, after my father left, and I was being blamed daily for the divorce. And then my mom started getting violent with me. She, from a very early stage in her abuse towards me, started telling my family and my doctors and anybody that would listen that I tell stories and I make things up, and anything that comes out of my mouth, especially if it's horrific and one of those hard to believe kind of things, then I'm likely making it up because there's something seriously wrong with me, and I like to make up things for attention in her lies and whatnot. And unfortunately, because she was so conniving and so convincing and so good at what she did, she literally got my entire family, all of my doctors and therapists, she got them all believing that I was the one that was messed up, that I was the one that was crying wolf, that I was lying to receive attention, I was begging for help and a way to leave the situation because I don't remember the word she used for it, but basically I was just trying to cause problems for her because apparently I hated her and I wanted to go live with my rich father. And so I was willing to do and say anything that could get me removed from her custody and to put in with my father and his money bags, as she called them. She used to refer to my father as Daddy Warbucks. Now, my father has never been rich, but yes, at one point he was well off. And on the wealthier side of life, yes, but he's never rich. And she just, because she was one of those money-oriented people who just loved and adored material things. When my father left her, well, there went the money. And so she had to make it look like I was the one that wanted the money. So I was the one that was trying to leave her to go live with him because I wanted his money and I wanted, all that attention that came with being wealthier with privilege and yada, 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 the things that she wanted. When at 5 years old, I didn't care about money. I didn't even realize my father was wealthy. Like I didn't realize my father had more money than most people until I was in my teens. And that was long after my parents divorced. And again, he was never rich. He was just very comfortable with life. And um, she just made it sound like I didn't want to be with her because she was poor, and I wanted to be with him because he had money. And so I was willing to say and do things that would shock and horrify people so that they would say that she's a horrible mother and remove me from her custody and put me in with my father's custody. And everything that she said worked. Like every single person that I tried to tell what was happening to me, the eye rolls, the sighs, the go tell your story to someone else, or just going along with me with the yeah, I understand, I believe you, and then they just turned around and went back to my mom and said, so this is what she said today, just wanting to let you know. And then, of course, that would get me a right good beating, and among other things. So it's like these people thinking that they're doing the right thing by telling my mother what her lying daughter is saying. They think they're doing the right thing because they believe what she's saying, but they're actually causing more problems because they're feeding the narcissist the lies that she's saying to them and taking my truth and then having it said back to her, to which she then uses it against me to punish me and to hurt me and to make things worse. So I know a lot of these people thought that they were helping her to get me the right kind of help that I needed because I was so severely mentally messed up, and I just lied about everything. I was just a compulsive liar that couldn't help it. And even my own therapist, like, she had them believing everything, and they literally they broke my HEPA rights, and they would go back to her and my stepfather and tell them every single thing that I said to them. And that got me beat. It got me tortured. It got me just really horrible treatment. And once I realized, which didn't take very long, it's probably like my second or third session, that I realized, again, I'm a child. I'm like 5, 6, 7 years old. I'm just little. So, I finally realized these people shouldn't know this stuff, but I told the therapist this stuff. So how do they know? Well, he must be telling them. And so one day I tried a therapy session where I didn't say anything. I just sat there and I stared at the floor for the entire hour. And he tried and tried and tried and tried to get me to talk, and I wouldn't do it. And then all the way home, and then when we got home, and then the day of my next session, I was beaten. Like, I was beaten all the way home. I was beaten when I got home, and then I was beaten before I went to my next session, all with them saying, you better talk this time, because all you're doing is wasting our time, and you're wasting money by sitting there and not saying anything. And it was at that moment I realized, okay, I'm damned if I talk, and I'm damned if I don't. So clearly he's telling them what I say to him, and he's telling them when I say nothing. So, I don't have my drink with me. Anyway, so yeah, I just at that point I started making up things to tell him. I didn't like make things up in a worse way. I just kind of was saying, like, oh, things are better now, and I'm not being hurt anymore, and like everything's fine, and you know, I think at one point I even just said, yeah, I'm sorry that I lied to you about all this stuff, and I don't know why I do it, and yada yada yada, and he was just like, well, it's not good to lie, and yada yada yada. I don't remember everything. Again, I was a child. I was just trying to prevent myself getting another beating when I left his office. So I figured if I accounted for everything and said that it was all my fault and that I made it up and that I was actually talking good about my mom and stepdad, that things would get better and that the abuse might stop. And I think they were both spun by the fact that I admitted that I had been lying when they knew that I wasn't lying and that I was telling the truth, but here I am admitting that I lied, so they didn't really know how to react to that. And then also with me saying that everything was fine and nothing bad was happening, and um, yada yada yada. They were, again, they didn't know how to react to that. So basically, the rides home on those days was kind of quiet because like they didn't have anything they could use against me because I didn't say anything bad, and yet I was still talking. So they couldn't get me for not talking. They couldn't get me for telling the truth because I wasn't telling the truth. I was lying about how things were fine and that they weren't hurting me and that they never did and that I made it up. So, like, they had nothing that they could hurt me with. And then eventually they found things that they could use against me, and then they did. So then it didn't matter if I lied or told the truth or whatever, because everything had consequences. So, yeah. Just narcissists are just awful, horrible, horrible people. And I am sorry to each and every one of you that has to endure life with a narcissist or had to endure life with a narcissist and or are still dealing with narcissistic people. Um, I wish I could help you with your situations. You have a safe place where you can talk about your situations if you want to leave them in the comments. If you need to talk privately, I can give you a way to contact me. Um, I have been able to help people to um, receive help. I have been able to help people actually get out of their situations and get happier, healthier lives. Um, if you want to know more about that, check out my Christmas Eve video, The Best Gift I Ever Got, or something like that. And I talk about a person named A who had been abused for like 15 years, and I was finally able to convince them to call these specific numbers for their area. And after calling these people, they were able to help A to escape the situation they were in. And they have been free and loving their life ever since they left. I think it was on Christmas Eve or the day before they left their abusive situation. And they are in therapy and they are doing great. They are learning the healthier skills of life and ways to deal with what they've been through, and they are happy. They are healthy. They are living their lives, and that's what I really hope for all of you. I hope that even if you don't want to reach out to me and see if I can try to help you, I hope that you will reach out to someone that you can trust and find a way to escape your situation, find a way to receive the help that you need, because there is a way out, and there is a better life out there for you, and it's just waiting. You have to take the steps. You have to find the courage to take the steps to free yourself. And it's hard, I'm not going to lie. It's hard. It can be very scary. It can be very complicated. A situation wasn't as complicated as it could have been. But they're also a lucky one. And instead of becoming a statistic, they're actually a survivor. They are thriving now. And I'm not saying that you have a chance of becoming a statistic. I'm just saying, so many people become statistics because they don't take the steps to leave their abusive situations, and they end up never getting to leave. So they become a statistic of abuse or narcissistic abuse or being killed by said abuse. So, and I don't want any of you to become a statistic. I want you to become survivors. So, anyway, this has gone on quite long, and I'm not even sure if I went off on the way I meant to. So if I didn't, I'm sorry. I will try to swing it back around to the right way the next time I get on and talk about this. I think I covered what I wanted to say. But I've got to go back and listen to my video and see if what I said is what I meant to say. If this goes up, then obviously I felt it covered pretty much what I was trying to get on to say today. And if you don't see it, you'll never know. So, anyway, I will be back in a few days, and I will talk more about more narcissistic stuff. I will have more quotes coming, and I may even eventually share some of my poetry. I haven't really decided if I'm going to do that yet. So if this was helpful to you in any way, shape, or form, please let me know in the comments below or give me a thumbs up. I really appreciate positive, happy, good comments. And by that I mean, anything that's not trolling. You don't have to be like all sunshines and butterflies and, happy stuff. No. What I mean by happy comments, I mean like you're not making fun of me, me or my situation, or, you're not being mean. I want you to be you. I want you to, if I've covered something that you want more information on, or it resonated with you and you want to hear more about it, or if you need somebody to talk to, or anything that I can be helpful with, let me know. Anything that resonated with you, let me know. Anything that you want more coverage on, let me know. Anything that you're dealing with, let me know. I'm here to help you. I want to help you to find your freedom and take back your life and be happy and be healthy. And I know that escape is out there, because I escaped my narcissist, and no, it wasn't easy. Now, my situation is definitely going to be different than yours, just as yours is definitely going to be different from everybody else's. We all have to go through our own journey, but in the end, we can all escape. We can all be free. It's just some people are going to have to work harder than others, and some people are just going to have to tell the right person, and things will fall into place. I mean, everybody is different. Everybody has their own story. Everybody has their own path, and everybody has their own way to freedom. And if I can be of any assistance, please let me know. I also wouldn't mind if you like my content, to subscribe, maybe hit the bell so you're notified when I post. I do post a variety of things, including reviews and things like that. And I know not everybody's into product reviews, just like not everybody's into abuse stuff and narcissistic stuff. And so I can understand if you don't want to be notified, but at the same time, you could be notified, find out what it is, and decide if you want to watch it or not. So, I mean, and go from there. But again, you also don't have to. So, I think that's all I've got for today. So take care, be blessed. I love you all. And I am planning to go live Wednesday, the 7th at 3 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. And I hope to see you all. I think the topic's going to be more about narcissistic abuse, narcissistic mothers, and other things of this topic. Or if people don't want to talk about that, we can figure out what to talk about at that time. All right. I love you all. Be safe. Bye.